Have you ever wanted a quieter impact driver? Well, DeWALT has one for you. In fact, they're claiming it's the quietest impact driver out there. Now, we know the DeWALT DCF870 is not brand new. It's been out almost a year now, but we had an opportunity to use it, so we thought, why not review it, because we haven't done so yet. As they claim, it's supposed to be the quietest impact driver. It's a hydraulic impact driver. And if you've never used one, you really ought to try it out. It may be a fit for you. Today we have the DeWALT XR Quiet Hydraulic Impact Driver. Runs on their 20-volt batteries. We have it kitted with the power stack battery because you can actually get it as a kit. And it's the DCF870 and E1, which gives you the kit with the power stack battery, the charger, and the case there. And I believe that's going to run you somewhere around $300. We'll talk about specifics on pricing here in a few moments. While this may look like your typical impact wrench, it's really not. There's quite a bit different. Now, I would say up to the snout, it's pretty much the same. We'll compare it here in one moment. But once it gets past here, this is where all the magic is happening, because rather than your typical clack-clack of a typical impact driver with dogs that are hitting on a weight and everything else, they're doing this hydraulically with a hydraulic fluid in there, which really kind of mutes the sound. It's not going to be dead silent, but it's going to be much more quiet and at a more pleasant frequency than your typical impact driver. And again, we'll use it here in a few moments, and hopefully you can hear it on your end as well. But let's get to the features and specs on this, and then we'll get to using it. Again, the DeWALT DCD870 or DCF870 quiet hydraulic impact driver. You have 3 LED lights here on the front. There's another cool feature that coincides with that new LED as well. Pretty typical variable speed trigger. You can see, depending on how much I'm going to grab, is going to how many RPM I get, and we get up to 3,000 RPM in speed 2. And by the way, there is a 3-speed mechanical trigger, so no button to push, an actual mechanical slide that you can slide over, and you have speed 1 and 2, and then you have a light mode. And what that light mode is for is if you turn it to light mode, pull the trigger, by the way, it will still work, and it will turn on that light and stay lit for 20 minutes. So if you're in an attic space or you got your head inside of a cabinet, something like that, and you need that light, you can turn it on and it will stay lit. And then when you grab it, you need to use it. The light stays lit and does not go out in that light mode. I think that's actually a pretty cool mode where it's not just a light, but it's a usable tool along with the light staying on for 20 minutes. Again, speed 2 is going to give you 3,000 RPM and up to 4,200 impacts per minute. And then speed 1 is going to ramp that down to 1,100 RPM. So we'll go to speed 1. And by the way, when it's not in use, you get pretty much the same high-speed whine. In fact, let's bring in, this is the DCF850. So this is your typical 20-volt impact driver. It's their atomic impact driver. So there's in high speed, although it's a 3-speed motor, you still get that high-pitched whine of the motor. In low, there's in low. So again, not a big difference there. It's going to be when it's impacting where the difference is going to be. And again, as far as the look of it, from kind of the plastic back or before the snout starts, pretty much looks identical. Same height, same height there, same width across the back. Everything else is just going to be here on the front of that snout, where it's going to be quite a bit different in both the look and in the usability. Different LED setup as well. So obviously your typical 1/4-inch impact driver setup. So you're going to have that 1/4-inch hex where you can just line it up, push it in, and it's going to lock. You don't have to pull the ring back. And then to unlock, just pull the ring back. And you're going to have to pull that out. It does not have a spring in there to push that out. So it is going to be two-handed coming out. So pull the ring back and pull the bit out. But putting it in, you don't have to pull that back. Just push it in. Now, where the difference is going to lie in the quiet impact driver, a couple of differences. Number one, the quietness of it, or the silence of it. But number two is going to be power. Now, it still puts out 500 inch-pounds of torque, but that's nothing compared to the 1,825 inch-pounds of torque from the DCF870. So, but again, it's not meant to be the same tool. This is meant to be, in my opinion, to be in places that, number one, maybe you're kind of confined in a space where you're working inside of a small box. You got all kind of reverberation, whether it be inside of a cabinet, whether it be in an attic somewhere, or in ductwork even, or a different type of applications, drilling sheet metal, and you get that resonance off of other areas. This could be a great tool for that. And another place is when you're working in, say, an office environment, say during hours, and you just don't want to irritate people as much because an impact driver or an impact wrench, you know, chugging away at a screw or a bolt is just, it's not too pleasing to the ears. Let's get started on using this, see if we can tell the difference. All right, let's run your typical Phillips head screw. And this is just like a 2-inch or 2 1/4 inch drywall type screw, but I think it's more of an exterior general purpose screw. And we'll have it in speed 2 and fast and high. So not a lot of impacting going on, but I think you can probably hear, especially that frequency is much more mellow than your typical impact driver. Now I'm just curious, let's switch over to the DCF870. So not a lot of speed difference, and it's only impacting right there at the end. So you're really not hearing that impact, but it is a more, a sharper impact than on the quiet hydraulic. Now let's go over, we'll grab a Torx bit here. See if we can't get more of a pronounced difference. So now a 3-inch deck screw. One more. Back to the 850 with the deck screw. Then one more with the 850. So I can definitely hear a difference when they impact longer, that the quiet hydraulic impact is quieter and again has that different tone and different kind of feel to the hearing than your typical impact driver does. Let's drive a lag screw. Number one, will it do it, and how quiet is it? And the DCF850. Now, as we showed in the testing, the numbers really don't show a huge difference in sound. However, it's the way the sound is produced and the way your ear hears it that it is much different to your actual ear because of, I'm assuming, the tone and the frequency, as well as just how it's delivered to you. Even through your hands, you can actually feel the difference in the hydraulic impact driver. It feels softer. You still feel the same number of impacts per se, but they're not as harsh, and you really don't have that reverberation all the way up your arm. It's a much softer blow, and that's exactly what your ear is hearing as well. So what you're hearing or the way it sounds is much different than the numbers that show, you know, maybe a few decibels difference. I will say that the numbers on the meter don't really show the difference that you hear with the ear, and everyone has agreed to this, by the way, but I'll still show you what the meter says on these 3-inch lags. So 100.6 on the quiet hydraulic, and I don't think this one will be that much louder. Let me move this out of the way. And that one went up to 107. But again, seat of the pants or seat of the ear, whatever that would be, the quiet hydraulic is much quieter and much more pleasant on the ear than the regular impact driver. $109.4 and 106.1. Now pricing on this is $199 for the bare tool. So if you want just the tool and you're already on the DeWALT platform, then you can get this for $199. If you want it kitted with the power stack battery, which highly recommend, it's nice and compact, still delivers tons of power, say 1.7 amp hour, but still gonna drive hundreds of screws without an issue. But the kit with the power stack battery and the tool and the bag and the charger is going to run you $319. So where is this really a good fit? Well, kind of like we said, if you're in any small spaces where you get a lot of reverberation of the sound, then those sharp sounds can really wear on you. So if you're working inside containers, or you're working in ductwork, or you're working with your head inside of a cabinet, or you just don't like that type of noise, then by all means, this is a great fit for you. Or if you're commonly working around other people, whether in offices doing maintenance work or installing things, or in homes and the owners are around and they don't want to hear that sharp sound, again, a great option for you, or at least a backup option that you can have in different scenarios. Hey, check it out for yourselves. Let us know what you think about it. Also, keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even TikTok. And if you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And by all means, if you hated our video, then give us a thumbs down, but let us know in the comments why. Have a great day and keep smiling.